Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, local officials address the governor, asking he let Kern County decide when it's safe to reopen. This morning, we want to know how you think the decision should be made.
Everyday heroes. That's who this rally last night at East Hills Mall aimed to honor. A touching message thanking grocery store workers and truck drivers. Coming up.
This year's Unleash Your Love drive looks a little different. We're not at Compassion Corner, but we still need you to show your heart for local shelter pets. How you can help on this Friday, May 1st, 2020.
Good morning. It is 5 a.m. on this finally Friday, and it is the first day of May. Maddie, I know we've been talking about this. You know, yesterday we were talking about the last day of April. Today is the first day of May. It's hard to say that next month will be June.
I know we're just heading full blast towards summertime. It's kind of hard to believe. These temperatures have been beautiful, a little bit cooler yesterday, which I really enjoyed, and this weekend's going to be just perfect, it sounds like, for the first weekend in May, right, Kev?
Yeah, it is going to be very nice, and it's unfortunate with all this COVID-19 stuff going around because today was Unleash Your Love. Typically, we'd be at Compassion Corner, but we are not there, but we're going to do it virtually. So listen up throughout the morning because we want to support the SPCA as much as we possibly can throughout today. We'll have much more coming up, but let's talk about our weather as well. And the temperatures yesterday were not in the 90s, but they were in the 80s. In fact, Bakersfield hit 86 degrees. Normally, we should be right around 80, so we're about 6 degrees above that, and the record of 101, so back in 1981. As we take a look at the satellite and radar, you can see nothing to show you. We're going to be nice and sunny once again today, but we do have some watches and warnings, and we still have the winds into the Kern County mountain and desert locations, the wind warning in place until 8 a.m. this morning. That I think that'll switch over to more advisory, and because of the breezy conditions that we've been seeing, we do have an air quality alert out there for all valley locations just due to maybe a little bit of dust. 56 degrees in Bakersfield right now under a calm wind, so those are not a problem at this time. And we take a look at the progression of the temperatures throughout the day. 72 at 11, 76 at 1, and then we'll top out near 80 degrees later on this evening. Now as we take a look at Tehachapi, 48 degrees, a west-northwest wind at 13, and again that high wind warning in place until 8 a.m. for you. And you can see temperatures today will be relatively mild. We're expecting the 60s. These near normal temperatures are going to continue for a little while. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. For now, we'll send it back over to you.
We're checking out the latest coronavirus numbers here in Kern County. Another person has died from COVID-19, and this is the 4th death reported in less than 2 weeks and the 7th overall. Now, there are more than 900 confirmed cases. Most of those infected have recovered. 30 are in the hospital. The 6,500 tests have come back negative, and the department is waiting on results for 3,700 others. That's the highest number we've seen since testing began. Now, keep in mind, public health officials note the high number of pending tests may be because it takes longer to confirm a negative test than a positive. Now let's take a look at the map. 105 cases are in the valley, 263 in the region known as Bakersfield West, 485 in the region known as Bakersfield East, which includes Oildale, Lamont, and Arvin as well, and has more than 100,000 people than any other region in Kern County. Meantime, 21 cases in the mountains and 19 cases in the desert. And we've learned the 7th local victim of this pandemic was a father of 2 from Bakersfield. His family tells 17 News his name was Martin Baca. The 53-year-old was hospitalized 3 weeks ago. His wife Anna says it was the last time his family saw him in person. His wife says she was able to see him this past weekend through FaceTime, but they weren't able to speak because he was in a coma. She says she received a call from Memorial Hospital yesterday morning that he died. He leaves behind a son and a daughter in their 20s.
The time now is 5:04. We still don't have a breakdown of Kern County COVID cases by gender, race, or even city. We've been consistently asking Kern Public Health about when we might get that information.
We take the guidance set by the state very seriously. We follow and we choose to follow the state guidelines on this and HIPAA. Locally, we are referring you, of course, to the California Department of Public Health.
The issue of geography is especially important as the county looks to reopen. The mayor of Taft has already tried to do so. The federal guidelines for reopening require cities to have a declining number of cases for 2 weeks. But without knowing how many cases there are in each city, we can't do that.
We are hopeful that there will be a more detailed release of geographical information in particular that we are able to report and make public next week.
And we will continue to follow up with Kern County Public Health each day for the latest updates.
Now to the push to get Governor Gavin Newsom to allow local governments to reopen their economies if they find it is safe to do so. 5 local officials joined State Senator Shannon Grove in signing a letter asking the governor to modify the stay-at-home order. Those who signed the letter include Taft Mayor Dave Noer and Kern County Supervisors Mick Gleason, Zach Scrivener, Mike Maggard, and David Couch. In it, Grove says a strategy that works for cities in Kern County will not be ideal for Los Angeles or San Francisco, adding local government should have the flexibility and discretion to navigate reopening stages in a timeline that works best for their communities.
And that's the subject of today's 17 interactive feedback poll. We're asking, should local governments decide when to reopen? Call or text us at 888-4617. 1 if you think yes, 2 if not. You can also text, tweet, email, or Facebook us your comments. Once again, the interactive feedback phone line is 888-4617. We'll air some of your comments and have the first results from today's poll coming up at 5:30.
Meantime, people living in Lake Isabella want visitors to stay out. They're holding a car protest rally later tonight. Last weekend, the warm weather brought a lot of people to the lake to cool off. People there say the visitors clogged up their grocery stores and ignored social distancing rules and put Lake Isabella's most vulnerable residents at risk. According to a Facebook post, the rally is tonight at 8 o'clock at the library. Protesters will then drive to the auxiliary dam. You're asked to not get out of your car.
And the weather is expected to be beautiful across the Golden Empire this weekend. And with the stay-at-home orders now stretching into a 3rd month, many people are itching to get outside. Doctors and county officials say you should, just do so safely.
We want you to go outside. We just want you to practice social distancing when you do.
So what does that look like? You can go to local parks, just stay off the playground equipment. Don't have large gatherings. Dr. Hemel-Cothry with Dignity Health says small groups where you can keep that 6 feet social distance are fine and be respectful of others.
I think, this time of year with everything that's going on, it's almost ridiculous to have people stay at home the whole time. People aren't going to do it. So I think if you're going to go outside, be responsible. Use the mandates that we put out in place. The social distancing is a classic one that I think a lot of people aren't following. So I think enjoy the weather, be outside, be respectful of others as well.
Governor Newsom ordered Orange County to close its beaches after crowds headed out there this past weekend. Now, we want to show you the scene at Newport Beach on Saturday. Officials argue this doesn't show the full picture and that people were social distancing. But Newsom says his office has had concerns about Orange County for a while now, so a targeted closure was needed. A memo sent to the California Police Chiefs Association sparked rumors that Newsom could order all beaches and state parks closed across California. But right now they're still open with restrictions enforced locally.
When it comes to social distancing, Kern County's grade hasn't improved much. This is our current score from Unicast. We've had a D for the past few weeks. Unicast measures social distancing by analyzing data from mobile devices like smartphones. But for the most part, we've had a B on encounter density. That category measures if people are gathering or staying apart. But according to Unicast, our grade dropped to a C this past weekend before going back to a B on Monday.
Don't want to wait until the pandemic is over to get married? Governor Newsom signed an executive order that allows adults to obtain a marriage license through video conferencing rather than appearing in person. The order has also allowed adults who wish to be married can have a ceremony by video conference as long as both adults are present and have at least one witness who can join the video conference. The provisions of the executive order will remain in effect for the next 60 days.
Free testing is coming to Kern County with 3 new sites. County Supervisor Leticia Perez announced one of them on 17 News last week, the Richard Prado Senior Center just off Mount Vernon Avenue near Heritage Park. And we found out the Kern County Fairgrounds will also have a testing site, and people in Mojave can get a test at the Veterans Memorial Building on O Street. The county says it's following state health department guidelines and testing people with symptoms or healthcare workers. On kerncounty.com, you can schedule appointments starting Sunday. Still ahead, the last few months of your senior year of high school are a rite of passage, but seniors this year are passing that time at home.
17 News wants to honor the accomplishments of some class of 2020 grads and show you the unique ways they're celebrating. We'll have the story of a very dedicated Liberty High School patriot coming up. If they'll have a graduation this year honoring their achievements. But at 17 News, we want to pay tribute to those and their achievements. 17's Nicole Gitsky shows us one remarkable senior at Liberty High School.
Caitlin West has always been a hard worker, and walking away from her senior year, there is a lot she can be proud of. She held a 4.1 GPA and was a key asset on the marching band. This year, she became band president.
I'm just really proud that she was able to maintain her GPA along with all of the late night practices and early mornings. They had 0 period every day. She put a lot of work into keeping her grades up, even while being part of those extracurricular activities.
In 3rd grade, Caitlin tried out the clarinet and it stuck.
Give me 1 year and try it, because you're going to make friends before school starts. You're going to get to know the campus before school starts. And if you hate it, then you can drop it. And she loved it. It really became her circle of friends.
This year, the marching band qualified for state and got to compete amongst some of the best, making it to the final performance. Caitlin's family is missing out on watching her play at school events, but they are trying to take advantage of typical senior memories from the comfort of their home.
When she signed for school, it was a big deal for us. So we made sure that we took pictures, even if it was just clicking a button, to accept. We did John Krasinski's prom at home, because they missed out prom. So that was, we streamed that live. That was a lot of fun, and still got dressed up. And all of us did that as a family. So that's it's different, but you do what you can with what you've got.
Caitlin will attend Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in the fall, where she will study political science. In Southwest Bakersfield, Nicole Gitsky, 17 News.
And congratulations to Caitlin, a fellow Liberty High School alumna. And if you have a senior that you'd like to highlight, please let us know. You can go to our website, and you can also email us at 17news@kget.com. It is 5:22 now, and dozens of people turned out last night to pray for Kern County's essential workers. The event was held in the parking lot of the Old East Hills Mall. Folks stayed in their cars and honked their horns, flashed their lights, and all paid tribute to those working hard to provide for us during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Essential workers being grocery store workers, truck drivers, the security guards, the restaurant workers, people that are doing everyday things that before this pandemic wasn't considered a big deal maybe, but now they're our heroes.
The event was organized by United We Stand Bakersfield. Well, still to come this morning on Sunrise, some local businesses are getting help from the government to stay afloat, but others are still waiting on loans. What Congressman Kevin McCarthy is promising to do to help out. That story coming up after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
The time now is 5:26. Leaders of Valley Baptist Church say they'll be able to keep hundreds of their employees, at least for now, thanks to a loan from the Paycheck Protection Program. The church applied for and received a federal government Paycheck Protection Program forgivable loan. Senior co-pastor Dr. Roger Spradlin says the funds will go directly to employees, including those who maintain these grounds and work in the church preschool.
This is a program not so much to support the church, but to support individuals, individual employees.
The loan was made possible after Congress allocated $659 billion for businesses, nonprofits, and faith-based organizations with fewer than 500 employees. But there are also many small businesses which have not yet heard back on the statuses of their loan applications, like the Boss Cocktail Lounge connected to Zingo's Diner. Owner Christy Ferguson says their business could go under.
I've tried everything. And, I'm just worried about the business. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reopen, and that's sad because this is like a landmark here.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy addressed these concerns during a phone conference yesterday and said he wants to help.
I don't know who they went through with their loan. I would walk through with their bank or even look to maybe you got to look at some other local bank to actually help, and I could work with them personally.
We have more information on the Paycheck Protection Program on our website, kget.com. If you haven't paid your property tax yet, you only have a few days to do so. The deadline was extended because of the coronavirus outbreak. The county treasurer tax collector says the deadline's now Monday, May 4th. Remember, county buildings are closed, so you'll need to make tax payments online or mail it in. Cash payments will not be accepted. A piece of downtown Bakersfield's coming back to life. Dagny's says it's going to reopen next week. Dagny's was one of many shops downtown that closed because of the pandemic. On Instagram, the coffee shop says after a month, they'll be back open on May 5th. But there will be changes. The coffee shop asks customers to wear a mask. They're going to make sure distancing is possible, and they're not accepting cash for now. They're also asking you to place your order online whenever possible. And I just saw online also that Cafe Smitten will be opening up for takeout and curbside pickup next week as well. So slowly some are starting to do those changes. Still ahead in the next half hour on Sunrise, is it canceled or not? The city now backtracking after canceling the annual 4th of July celebration. How they're going to make it happen.